we focused a lot on cost, and we've introduced some of the complexity of cost, just from basic economic modeling, fixed costs, variable costs, global costs, opportunity costs. We haven't really gone that much into the value side. And the problems in trying to take that cost and then assigning value is going to be the evidence that's behind the value proposition, the evidence that's supporting the quality and efficacy. And then we get into levels of evidence, quality of evidence, real world evidence, clinical trial issues that already came up. So how do we start to approach assigning that value story in order to be able to have the equation that Ira opened us up with, to explain how we get to value?
Well, so I'll take a crack at that first. So I think we're dealing sort of in the world that we know, and so put this in an innovation context. There's been a lot of innovation on the drug discovery and the clinical discovery side. We're trying to innovate now on the reimbursement side with the shift to volume to value, but we're not really innovating insofar as trying to come up with a new way of doing it. We're sort of using what we know in the old tools around efficacy and safety and evidence and applying those when we really should be innovating in the reimbursement environment. So what can we bring to the table that is new and different, just like precision medicine and what's happening on the research and discovery side? We need that same kind of innovative spirit on the healthcare delivery side in that framework of value. And where I'm going with this is, if you look at other sectors of the market, look at refrigerators, look at cars, look at all sorts of other places where consumers are very active and get a lot of information about before they make consumer choices. Those industries, those sectors know so much about their consumer and what's value to them, and they've studied it and they know it to a T, and they try to deliver products that the group of individuals or the people they're trying to sell to will value in some way. If we're really going to define value in a way that means something to the patients to whom we're supposed to benefit from that value, the moonshot we need to have is really understanding what is it that patients perceive to be as value.
But I would argue that it's an erroneous argument to go after a product comparison.
Well,
so think more of utility,
yeah,
where it's a product and a service.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be a better model to start to consider.
Yes, the analogy certainly has its limitations. I'm not suggesting there's you're not buying a car the same way you're selecting a treatment for oncology. But there are some parallels in terms of, people are able to seek and understand information about trade-offs and how it affects their financial situation and the utility of the service that they're engaging in. I think some of that can be applied in the healthcare space.
But if we take that metaphor a little bit further, what you're saying is we have consumer reports. And anybody who suggests that we're going to have consumer reports for oncology in America is smoking something, because we're basically talking about the adoption of health technology assessment, which has been ridiculously radioactive forever. Why is it radioactive? Because health technology assessment means you say no sometimes. And we're not comfortable with that. And so what we have now we've got these efforts by ASCO and NCCN and ICER and Peter Bach's Drug Abacus and all these other things to try to develop a methodology, not unlike consumer reports when I'm buying a car, about reliability, service, cost, safety, all that other stuff. They're doing it. They're using different inputs, but they're doing it. They don't have all the right inputs, and I'm sure we're going to get into that, and I will grant you that. And when I said clumsy attempts, I was not trying to be judgmental. What I'm saying is that it's a work in progress, and they have used, as you've said, the tools that they have currently available to them to try to build a model by which we can have an honest discussion about health technology assessment.